I guess I'm curious, was that the actual first rule of Fight Club? Never finish what you started?
No.
Ooh-wee. Can we do it? Can it be done? Can we make it onto Good Morning America and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with only 79 days to go? Well, today, our interview with famous actor, who you'll meet in just a second, might just catapult us into the cultural zeitgeist and put us on the map of getting on Good Morning America and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade so that we can collect a piece of space trash, which is the very thing that this podcast, nay, our project, exists for. This is Mike Heath's Orbital Garbage Project. I am Mike Heath, and this is my, nay, our Orbital Garbage Project, where we're trying to do one thing and one thing only: collect a piece of space trash by any means necessary. And the means today? Interviewing Bradley Pitt. Welcome to the podcast, Brad. It is truly, it's a big deal to have you here because normally I'm just talking to myself in my car or in this very room. So you're really bringing a special pizzazz to the show today.
I would really not like to hear that.
Right, so let me just get right into it, Bradley. Can I call you Bradley, or do you prefer Brad or college dropout? Okay, Bradley, you were in Ad Astra, a movie about going to space, and I'm trying to pick up a piece of space trash. So basically the same thing. My question is, do you think NASA is going to send me our matching spacesuit, or should I just get mine off Etsy?
No, I think that would be inappropriate.
Etsy? Okay, I'll get on that. I just want to make sure for our follow-up interview that we're dressed the same. As the star of the film Ad Astra, I'm curious to get your take on the reviews for the film. See, a lot of people called it boring, and I'm curious to get your thoughts. Do you think that's because they just didn't understand the messaging of the film, or that they just fell asleep halfway through?
Never happened to my recollection.
Yeah, right. We hopped right into your career. Let's hop back into your college days. So I have on my records here that you dropped out of the University of Missouri, where I graduated from, in 2016 with a bachelor's degree. You dropped out with only 2 credits to go. So I guess I'm curious, was that the actual first rule of Fight Club? Never finish what you started?
No.
And maybe the second rule was don't bother with finals, especially when daddy's footing the bill. Okay. No, you're in some great films like Moneyball. In Moneyball, you prove that the numbers can actually lead to wins. It can win games. Do you think if you ran the numbers of your time at Mizzou, they would say just stick it out for the last 2 credits?
Don't recall doing that.
I only kid, Bradley. Of course, you are a hilarious, amazing person, actor. You've won many awards. Some would say you've cleaned up at the Oscars, and I'm trying to clean up our low Earth orbit for all the space trash that's polluting it. My question is, who do you think has the tougher job, really?
Why?
You do have many jobs, right? Not just acting, your humanitarian work. You also have a production company, which is written here as Plan B. Is that because Plan A was to simply be a good actor? All right, we're back. Brad had an emergency where what was it, Brad? Your dog ate a lasagna. I don't know. He had to leave the studio very abruptly, and we had to come back today. So we're just going to go ahead and get back into this interview here with Bradley Pitt so I can collect a piece of space trash. All right, Bradley, where were we? Oh, you're a successful actor. You're really good at your job, and you are very professional. So yes, you've cried in multiple of your movies. As you're preparing for these scenes, are you thinking about your IMDb page or just letting the tears flow naturally?
Never happened to my recollection.
Okay. No, you really have made some of the most successful films out there to date. And you've also made the film Troy. So do you think that those two cancel each other out?
Huh. Yes, I understand the conundrum of it all.
No, you really have done so much for the film industry, for humanity. You know, you've helped rebuild homes after Katrina. I mean, just a lot of homes.
Yeah, it's something I'm very proud of.
That's very impressive, you know, and I'm trying to collect a piece of space trash that's currently orbiting Earth at 17,000 miles per hour, which is pretty crazy. Honestly, between the two of us, who do you think's really saving humanity? You know, who's the real hero here? You know, you've worked with a lot of big directors in these films, Quentin Tarantino, David Fincher, other people. Do you think that they'd be interested in filming the documentary about me collecting a piece of space trash, or should I just have my cousin Bill do it like we're planning on? Okay. Well, thank you for that. Yes, thanks. Now, Brad, you've been acting for over 30 years, working with all these amazing directors. That's incredible. You know, and I've been podcasting for only 6 months. Do you ever worry that people are going to forget you once I finally hit my stride?
No.
Now, I don't mean to get too personal, but you've had some pretty public breakups. And I'm just curious, if you don't mind me asking, do you think it's because relationships are hard? Or because none of your partners wanted to live in a house with all of your old movie posters?
Why do you say that?
Okay. All right. Now, seriously, if you could launch one of your movies into orbit to be permanent space trash, to just live out there forever, never to be seen by humans again, which one would it be, and why is it Meet Joe Black?
Next question.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all, Brad. Thank you so much, Brad. That's all the time we have today.
Oh, really?
Thank you for proving once again that Hollywood garbage compares nothing to the difficulty of space garbage. And goodbye, Bradley. Thank you for being in the studio today. I really, really appreciate that. All right, guys, we did it. We interviewed Bradley Pitt on the podcast. Can you believe that? Like, that's got to be the thing that really gets us into the cultural zeitgeist. I mean, if we're not on Good Morning America and the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade in now 79 days, I don't know what's going to do it. How could it happen apart from what just happened? Maybe the book. We're getting the book together. Gosh, it is my goal. It is my dream to get that book together. Colleen Goes to Space. We got to get that book out. I'm going to get an illustrator by the end of September. Getting them working on it maybe before the end of September so they can have like 2 months, because we want to get that out to market by Black Friday. And we're running out of time. The time is coming away. I don't know how long it takes to draw a bunch of pictures for a picture book about a space lady, a lunch lady that's collecting a piece of space trash, but we got to do it fast. Time is running out. I'm just so excited today. Gosh, got to talk to Brad Pitt. That was such a good interview. Oh, we're gonna be famous and collect a piece of space trash now. What else is going on? We're doing the book. We haven't made it into any more states. I think, and you know, we've only got, I don't know, like 13 days left of summer. So I think the math on it, we have to get into like 3.5 states a day to hit all 50 states by the end of summer. So I guess if we're all listening to this right now, if we could send this to one friend of ours who doesn't currently live in Washington State, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, or South Carolina, we can hit the other 45 if we all send it to like 3 or 4 friends every day, and they listen to it, and then and then that's incredible. So it's not about just getting listeners for the podcast is just one small part. The goal, right? The project is to collect a piece of space trash, which we think would cost us $2 million. So this is just a piece of the puzzle as we're putting this together to get this. And I'm wondering, one thing that might build hype is if we had a mascot, because it's maybe that would help our ownership of the project. Because when you think about your hey, my dog's freaking out right now. If you're thinking about your favorite like sports team, is they have a mascot, right? You think about the KC Wolf for the Kansas City Chiefs. You think about Truman the Tiger for the Missouri Tigers, who just had an amazing win against Kansas because Kansas stinks. All right, if you're not in America, you don't watch college football, you don't care, but this is a big deal. Really, it's not. In the grand scheme of things, what a big deal would be is us collecting a piece of space trash. And how are we going to do that? We need a mascot to build kind of camaraderie, ownership of the goal. Because whenever in America, and maybe this happens in other countries, I don't know, I've only really ever lived in America, so that's all I can speak to, is whenever a team, like your team loses, you'll be like, look what they did. How could they go for it on 4th down? Or like, how could they miss that kick? Or how could they miss that catch? But when you win, it's like, look what we did. We won the Super Bowl. We won the big game. So, how could we be the we and build that is, I think, a mascot. It really builds into that. So, one of my favorite films is Peanut Butter Falcon, which is a Shia LaBeouf film. And I don't think Peanut Butter Falcon is be an awesome mascot, but it's already taken. So, like, what's something we could do, like, off that? I was thinking, like, Jelly Eagle. If you guys like Jelly Eagle, or if you have another idea kind of in that world, I think Jelly Eagle is fun. It's fun and silly. I think we can all get behind. It's not, like, divisive, how some mascots can be these days. All right, I got to get out of here. I got a big night tonight. This is going to be the biggest night of my comedy life, I think, at least to date, or like one of the bigger. It's like one of the bigger comedy nights, I would say, of my entire time doing comedy. So we're doing this filming for the Up Next showcase at Emerald City Comedy Club in Capitol Hill tonight at 7 p.m. We're taping like our best 10 minutes for this showcase, and we've been like working with Joe Dombrowski, who's this national headliner. If you aren't familiar with him, very funny fella, and he's been like helping us develop our sets and kind of coaching us through it. So it's this big taping. There's gonna be like a ton of camera crew there. It's gonna be like a really good tape, and yeah, I'm really trying to have it go well. If it doesn't, it's not like the end of the world. Not like I'm like necessarily losing out on anything, but it's just like, oh, if this goes well, this could be a great tape to like get more work. And yeah, I don't know. Not like I'm gonna quit if it goes bad. All right, guys. Just like I'm not gonna quit ever on collecting pieces of space trash. But I just want it to go well, and you'll find out, I guess, maybe if I seem really sad and depressed on the next time we're on here. But I will not let it deter me from the ultimate goal. But if it does go well and we get more work with comedy, that's only going to help the mission of us collecting pieces of space trash. It's one more, splish splash in the bucket, not even a drop, like a whole splash in the bucket. And don't you want your bucket splashed? I mean, I sure do. I want a real... That's right, dude, because we can be the we. Let me know which mascot we should do, and gosh, what other celebrities we should interview on the podcast to help catapult us into the cultural zeitgeist. We will make it. We will arrive. We sure are going to accomplish our goal, because I believe as the we, together, we will clean up our orbital junkie.
Great shot!